All right, and welcome into the Betting Pros College Football Show. Week 3 is about to get going across campuses everywhere, and we're getting in on the action with our top multi-leg parlays for the occasion. I'm your host, Seth Woolcock, joined again by the boys, Scott Bogman, and yes, Terrell Furman Jr. And before we jump into this week's plays, let's recap last week's parlays. Terrell, oh so close for you hitting your second parlay of the season. What happened there? It seems like Rock Chalk finally let you down.
Yeah, it was a very disappointing end to the game. And it's funny because they got out to a hot start, and I immediately thought, well, if this game goes anyways, I think Mizzou is going to be back in it, and I'll be sweating this in the end. Well, it wasn't true. I wasn't sweating it in the end. My bet actually lost, and so didn't get that there, but I did get Toledo laying the 7. And
Rockets.
Shout out to Kentucky for giving me the heartache of all heartaches, but ultimately holding it down.
They did. That they did. And also, the big winner of the week, it was Bogman, where you hit a nice plus 410 gainer. You had Illinois over Duke. You had Mizzou on that money line. And you also had the Florida USF under that you talked glowingly about all week long. So, Boggs, how you feeling after dusting out a good win there in week number 2?
3-6 on my bets on my show, so this probably saved me from getting death threats. I like that. But I mean, plus 410, it made my week, man. It really did. So we're up units now, even though we missed the first two in week 0 and week 1. But getting this one was huge, and I was on the money line for Mizzou there. I had the under. That was my big bet, was Florida and the USF under. I tripled that one. And Illinois versus Duke looked shaky in the first half, but boy, did Illinois pull away from Duke. I felt real good about those games. Those games were the ones I hit, and it ended me up slightly up on the week from my other losses. But happy to hit that one, and hopefully we can run it back this week.
Yeah, for me, I got to get on the board here, boys. Honestly, not only did I miss again last week with the parlay, but at the same time, I only hit one leg. Ole Miss, Kentucky, the under looked good almost that entire game. And then Mark Stoops, he went for that field goal late in that one. I had bet that straight too, so that was a real burn. Michigan, Oklahoma on that under, though. That looked really good. That I could have just bet the normal under on that game too. No problems there. And then WVU, switching quarterbacks, not making points off turnovers. It was
Navarro.
Yeah, and I should have known it. You know, that's one of my boys, Parker Navarro, and I went against him in that spot. So learned my lesson there about fading the great Ohio Bobcats. But we're back at it this week, and Terrell, can you get back on the board with another parlay hit? What do you have here for us in week number 3 of the college football betting season?
Yeah, I think I will be able to get back on the board here. Give me first my best bet for the week. It's going to be LSU laying 7.5 here at home, going up against Florida. DJ Lagway is making his first SEC road start in this game. And honestly, if you ask me, it's his first road start overall, because his first actual road start was going up against a Florida State team that, how many wins last year, Seth?
2.
2 wins. That is it. So, he was horrible in the beginning of that game. He started that game 5 for 11, 40 yards and an interception. The one touchdown drive that he had early on in that game really wasn't because of him. It was more because of that defense giving him the ball back at the 14-yard line. So I am really going to be on LSU to just go out there, have a good show. And Brian Kelly 11-5 as a home favorite at LSU. So LSU lay at 7.5 here at home. Then for leg number 2, I'm going to go with, oh, wait, I lost it. There we go. USF plus 18.5. I think it's down to 17.5 now, but I like that USF line going up against Miami, Florida, because Cristobal cannot be trusted. And we talked about this so much of how much he can't be trusted. Mario Cristobal, 4-9 ATS as a home favorite at Miami, 17-31-2 as a home favorite in his career. And when he's been a home favorite of double digits, 18-13-1. So he has not been good in any of those scenarios. They have Florida coming up on deck, so it's a little bit of a look ahead spot. And this USF team feels disrespected. Nobody is giving them votes. The AP isn't giving them votes. Nobody is even considering them to be a good team. They moved Florida up after taking a loss to them. And so, yeah, I think this USF team is going to come out here hungry, angry, ready to go. They're going to keep this game close, even if they don't win outright. And then for my last leg that I'm going with, Diego Pavia. Every single time. It's about time Diego Pavia made it on one of these parlays, and it's going to be today, because I don't care if we're going to Williams-Brice at night. Diego Pavia is not afraid of anybody in the SEC. Give me Vandy plus 4.5 here. So you take that LSU minus 7.5, USF plus 18.5, and Vandy plus 4.5. That's going to get you plus 602.
Okay, all right. Another 6-1 gainer for Terrell. I appreciate that. And also, I appreciate the BettingPros app where you can score 6 months of BettingPros Premium for free. Just make a deposit and place your wager on any of our partner sportsbooks. Premium gives you access to tools like Sharp AI, our betting systems, the prop bet cheat sheet, and the same game parlay builder. All the tools you need to bet smarter, not harder this football season. Claim your upgrade now at bettingpros.com/premium. All right, Bogman, can we get 2 in a row here for you? What do you have for your week 3 parlay of the week?
I'm hoping. Let's go. Let's start on Friday night. We got a couple games on Friday night. I like this slate. Let's take Colorado plus the 5.5 right now. It keeps moving up as well because there's confusion about the quarterback, as we mentioned in our last show, right? It was Ryan Staub. Now it's not Ryan Staub. Listen, all 3 of these guys are going to play, I feel like. But the big mismatch, as Terrell and I spoke about on the last show, is this Colorado defensive line versus the Houston O-line. Houston O-line has not been good. I think that is the difference in this game. I think Colorado could win this game straight up. So if you're giving me points specifically in a parlay, I'm going to take those points. Give me all of them that I'm catching. Number 2, I'm going to lay a 1.5. I'm going to take Kansas State on the road. They've looked miserable. I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you that this is a good team. This is not your normal Kansas State team. But they are going on the road to Arizona in Tucson on a Friday night. People don't show up for U of A. It's not going to happen on this night either. Kansas State is banged up too. They're hurt. They're still way better in my opinion than Arizona. Listen, Terrell, I don't know how much Arizona you've watched this year.
And look, so I was trying to keep quiet, but you used my name. You don't think you're just a little bit biased? You don't think you're just a little bit biased towards Arizona? I mean, Kansas has been horrible this year. Kansas State
has been bad. But Army runs a very specific offense, right?
Yeah.
It's the run game. Arizona does not have that, right? They're going to pass the ball. And we saw what happened to Rocco Becht when they passed the ball against this Kansas State pass rush in the first half. He got beat up, he got hit, he got stomped. What'd they do? They switched to running the ball, and they ran right over Kansas State. So did Army. Arizona does not have that. They don't have that run game that Army had that Iowa State has. So Arizona looked pretty bad against Hawaii as well. In fact, Hawaii is horrific, right? They had no time of possession against Stanford, who is a bad team. That's why I took Arizona, and we won money on that, right? We got that game. So we had Arizona there, but watching that whole game, I went, I am not betting on the Wildcats again this year. So I am betting on the Wildcats, but it's the Kansas State Wildcats against the Arizona Wildcats in this game. So, yes, it does look weird because Kansas State does not look good.
Crime.
Yeah, Wildcat on Wildcat crime. Let's see it. I think Kansas State comes down. It's a 1.5. You're not going to get a line like that for them again here. It's just the ugliness of that defense against the run game, but Arizona doesn't have that in them. And then the last one is my favorite bet of the week. I talked about it ad nauseum, so I won't spend a ton of time on it here. But Georgia at Tennessee under 48.5. This game, to me, we just have a quarterback in Joey Aguilar that hasn't really been tested yet, and he turns the ball over. I don't really have a ton of trust against this Tennessee offense, against the Georgia defense. And look, this isn't the best Georgia defense we've ever seen, but they're still very, very good. So, and then on the other side, Gunnar Stockton, so low on the 8 out there, not letting him take any chances and throw the ball downfield. I think it makes the defensive game plan for Tennessee that much simpler. You play more guys in the line, you stop the run, and you don't have to worry about those big explosive plays because they haven't been happening for Georgia this year. So they're not letting their quarterback throw the ball downfield. So I like the under in that game a lot. So this one is bigger than my last one. Maybe I'm coming in with residual confidence right now, but it's plus 644 if you're on the Hard Rock bets. So let's go. Let's try to get this one. This one might seal my season if I can get this one too. So.
All right. Well, there you have it for Boggs. I'll give you my parlay of the week as well. Iowa State minus 20.5, minus 120 against Arkansas State. Look, in a slate of games where all these ranked opponents who are favored big against G6 opponents, why is Iowa State continuing to be disrespected by the books? Only laying 20.5 here against Arkansas State makes no sense to me. This is despite being 3-0 ATS this season that the Cyclones are. They went overseas. They knocked off Kansas State. They came back. They blew out South Dakota 55-7 in week 2. And then they won the Cyhawk Trophy at home last week against Iowa as well. Arkansas State, meanwhile, they're just a very, very mid Sunbelt team, in my opinion, that got blown out last week 56-14 at Arkansas. These two teams played last year. Iowa State won that game 52-7. I expect a very similar result for the Cyclones, who are not only equipped with the 39th ranked total defense currently, a veteran quarterback in Rocco Becht, moving this offense, in an improved ground game that continues to get better each and every single week. And then for leg 2, I'm heading to the MAC, where I'm laying points again with Buffalo this time on the alt spread, minus 20.5, minus 158 against Kent State. Those not familiar with the Mid-American Conference, look, Buffalo, they have been one of the better programs as of late in recent years, while Kent State, they were 0-12 last year. They're 1-11 in 2023. They are the dumpster fire of this G5 conference. And the Bulls hung pretty tough with Minnesota in week 1, which has the top-ranked total defense. So I'm thinking that they'll be able to continue momentum that they built off of that win against St. Francis at home, 45-6 last week. And the Golden Flashes, meanwhile, they got blown out by Texas Tech last week, 62-14. Tech has a bunch of money in that program, so no sweat there. But they barely beat Merrimack in week 1. That is a sub-500 FCS independent team in their opener. So in that game, they were outgained by Merrimack. They also allowed 164 rushing yards to that team as well. Buffalo, meanwhile, they have Aljay Henderson in the backfield. You're going to want to know that guy's name while the NFL draft is coming around here in just a couple of months. And at the same time, Aljay Henderson was 3rd in the MAC last year in rushing yards with over 1,000 yards. I think he's going to run right through him. I think they'll have no problem covering this number. So there you have it here for me. Again, that's a 2-leg parlay. Iowa State minus 20.5 against Arkansas State. Buffalo alt spread minus 20.5 against Kent State. Total odds is going to give you plus 207. So nothing crazy, but just trying to get on the boards and
picking on the losers. That's the way to do it. These are great bets, man. And Kent State would be like a middling FCS team.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, like if we were to have a power rankings of all 136 FBS teams, I don't know if they even pass. Yeah, I don't know if they even get past Delaware. And Delaware's new to the FBS this year. So
Delaware probably favored by more than a touchdown. So.
Yeah. Honestly. So, well, that's going to do it for us, guys, on this episode of the BettingPros College Football Show. Let us know down in the comments below your favorite Week 3 parlays and which one of us you're tailing or fading. And while you're here, make sure you're smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you're new. For Scott Bogman and Terrell Furman Jr., I'm Seth Woolcock. Take care, y'all.